Happy Monday. How are you beautiful people today? I don't think I've done anything productive yet today. Okay, either it just started or this is my third sentence. I don't know. Um, I need a person to come and dig the cable thingy out of the wall so I can get a more secure connection. That's what I need. There's a hole, there used to be a thing to that I could, you know, I think there's a hole. I'm talking about bringing the modem up here and the router. Um, it is a new week. Hola, Bram. How are you? That's all. You got all the Spanish out of me that I've got, pretty much. So good job. Um, I have plans for today. Um, well, I had plans for today, and then I was like, should I? Okay, so here's what happened. Hi, Marilyn. Oh, it's Spanish Day. Great. I'll see what else I can throw in if I can think of any more words. Um, so this past weekend, so interesting things happened. It's always something. Um, I ended up working due to circumstances. I ended up working, Meg's on vacation, and Jen needed to stay home. So I worked my normal Sunday, and then I was supposed to work my normal Wednesday and Meg's Thursday since she's on vacation. And then Jen had to, Hola, hola. Hi, Ola. Oh my gosh, when am I ever going to see you again? Are you in Ann Arbor still? I don't know where you are. You might be far away. It's Dr. Ola, everybody. Gosh, I haven't seen you in decades, have I? Wow. So I ended up working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I was shocked I didn't have to work Friday, but that's where Kirsten came in. And then Friday evening I had two classes, and Saturday I had five classes, and Sunday I had six classes. And was I teaching these classes? No, I was taking these classes. And these were um let's just see, shall we? It was a professional development seminar hosted by Melissa Leitman. You may or may not have heard of her. I have known Melissa Leitman for a very long time. Knitting teacher, designer, author, um, professional development summit runner, um, awesome person, very lovely, very sweet, very funny. So this was a professional development summit for designers. I just noticed that it said for designers. Like, why is everybody a designer but me? Yeah, so I took a lot of classes. You should really read to the end of the sentence. But I took 13 classes, and some of them were 2 hours long, and there was never more than an hour break, never more than an hour break between them. So I'm tired today, is what I'm saying. I worked a lot and I learned a lot. And so, today I didn't really get started until just now. I've kind of been sitting on the couch with my feet up and drinking tea so far today. But I learned about photography, designing, publishing, sizing, collaborations, social media, creativity, um, yarn substitution, branding. And did I mention social media? Yes, I did. And sometimes there was more than one of those classes. Sometimes it was the same teacher. Sometimes it was a different teacher. Sometimes I knew the people and sometimes I didn't. But it was a lot of learning and it was really good. I feel really motivated. I feel exhausted, but I feel really motivated and inspired. And so I'm going to figure out what I can take from each of the class. Every class you take, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. That's amazing. And then you take three more classes and then you take 10 more classes and then you're up to 50. What did I say? 13 classes. And you're like, yeah, if I try to do all those things. So I need to see, did I go the wrong way? Nope, I went the right way, to see what I can take from each of those classes. Some of the stuff I was already doing. Yay, me. So one of the suggestions was to do live streaming. Hi. So yay. I mean, I could make it better, but there I am. So yeah. And it doesn't matter that I am a designer. I'm just not trying to be a published designer, but that's okay. because I'm helping designers and I'm helping people design, and I'm, you know, getting people up to the point where they can tweak and design and be confident. Confidence. Okay. So what are we going to do today, you ask? I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to try something. We'll see. So you remember the Christmas stocking? Say yes. There's a Christmas stocking. And I'm going to go, well, let's see how I want to do this. So I have this cute little iron, and I'm going to turn it on, except I've never used it before. So this will be fun. I'm supposed to turn it to the second number for wool. And, ooh, a light came on. That's probably good. And then, nope, I want it up. And we're going to let it sit there and get hot, hopefully. Yep, it's already getting hot. That's kind of scary. And if you recall, or if it's new to you, I am very close to being done with this sucker, this peat stocking, and I didn't put peat on. Peat would have been, well, I don't know. Some people don't want peat to be centered that way. They want peat to be centered that way. So I just need to do some steaming, and because this part was knit a long time ago by a different person, and then I re-knit this yarn, so it's a little bit woobly, technical knitting term, and then this was all new yarn, so it looks pretty good. But I need to steam this part to try to get it to all blend together. Whoops. Oh. So what we're going to try is to do that without ruining the stocking. I'm actually going to do it from the back. Okay, so let's see. I've done this successfully before. I moved my, pressing mat here. And here's the stocking, and I'm going to play it safe. And all the ends are sewn in except the ones in the seams, which is not important right now, really. And I'm going to play it safe. I started that sentence. And put up, whoa, look at that pressing cloth. That's maybe seen better days. You want something thin. So mission accomplished. And I just want to steam. Whoop. Is it steaming? Do I have to do something magical? That's not steaming. That should be steaming. Do you see steam? Maybe we'll wait another minute or two. I don't know how much. Yes, I put water in there. It's hot. Let's just give it a shot. I don't want to iron it because I don't want to felt it. I'm 99% sure. Okay, I'm only 75% sure that that's actually wool under there, because there were labels in the bag that said Red Heart wool. Remember? Red Heart wool. Crazy talk. Ooh, that's really hot. Ooh, I see steam. Yay. And I don't want to iron it because I don't want to felt it if that's going to happen. And I also am nervous that it's not wool, and I don't want to melt it. No melting and no felting. No idea either. Okay. Whoops. So, and then you can, guess what next week will feature. We'll be sewing up the back, unless I jump ahead and do that without you. Oops, let's see. This little guy is so cute. Ooh, it's making the press cloth damp. I'm not really doing much for Pete, though. My actual iron has, hopefully this, I'm looking at you at an angle because my laptop's folded down so that you can see this. I still don't have my, ooh, it's getting better. Woo, look at that. I still don't have my, all right, fine, let's go for it. I still don't have my new Mac, what is it called? iMac yet. I was one of those people who called last week and said on Friday, so I haven't heard from you. Is my iMac in? And they're like, well, no. If you haven't heard from us, then the answer is no, which I know. I knew that. I just got nervous. Pretty sure it's wool. Smells like wool. So I'm smashing it down. I'm not rubbing it. Ooh, whoops. I dropped the press cloth, so now I can't use the press cloth. Ooh, look at that. That's looking better. Okay, let's try this. And I'm going to be left-handed because of where the cord is. So I'm kind of unrolling it with the iron and then pressing. I'm not rubbing at any point. I'm just trying to make the fabric up here look even and smooth, where it was knit by somebody else, and then where I took out the white because I had to change the green, and then I knit from like partway into Santa and down. All of me. I mean, that was all me. From the top of the green and up was all, I don't know the name of the knitter. They are no longer with us. And I could not find any more of the green. So I substituted, but it was already done down to the part of Santa's face. So hey, look at that. That's looking better. I should have taken a before picture. Ugh. Oh, you know what? I can because it's on the, the camera there. Okay. I feel good. I was a little nervous about this not blending, and then what would I do? Knit the whole top again, but we're trying to preserve the stitches of whomever knit the top of the stocking. Okay. This side could use a little work. So that's exciting, isn't it? Making progress. It's still August, and I'm almost done with a Christmas stocking. Now, I shouldn't have said that out loud, because, lots of things can go wrong. Yep. Okay, that looks way better. I can still see a line where I started knitting. Makes me kind of sad, but let's see what would happen. I don't think I need to, I'm not going to press the rest. Well, let's do a little pressing. Just a little boop. Don't really want to, that was all the same knitter, so it doesn't, which was me, by the way, in case you weren't sure. And I don't want to, I think the pink is acrylic. The pink is where, was Santa's face. I think that was acrylic, so I don't want to do a lot there. And all the rest is Angora, real live Angora, or shepherd's wool. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. Okay, so then when it's put together, which is not happening in front of the camera today, I don't think. I mean, it's early. Then, let's see what the front will look like. That will look pretty good. That'll look a lot better. Let's give it a few more puffs. Oh, wow, that looks a lot better. Okay, yay, Sarah. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for witnessing my, what the hell goes wrong? Or what do I do if it's still, it's just that one row that's small. So was that the last row? Yes, that was the last row of the previous person. So I don't know what I did. Maybe I used, because then the stitches look the same size. So it's really, I'll go over and scooch that one around and see. Okay, do you see anything else? That looks pretty good. I'll do this from the front a little bit. Once it's all sewn together, I can always give it another shot of steam. This is really bumpy underneath. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, so I think I started to say my grown-up iron is needs to be cleaned. So that's a whole process. And I had this little iron. I bought it for travel because, I teach blocking classes when I traveled, which is now a past tense word. I do not travel now. Okay, I think, let's just do a few more. I want this to magically match, and it's, it's really close. And I was a little nervous that the red color wouldn't hold. The only thing I'm really seeing, and that it might bleed a little bit into the white, the only thing I'm seeing is that there are fuzzies, and those, the fuzzy red is kind of going into the white a little bit. And that is just going to happen. And again, I didn't knit the red. Whoever did a great job. The red, the peat. So what remains to be done is the seam up the back. Okay, we're going to turn this guy off. Whoop. Off. Off. And we're going to press the steam button in to turn that off. And I'm probably all sweaty because I've been sitting over an iron. That looks way better. I mean, you can still see it, but it's way better. I didn't give you really a before. Okay. Woo! I was a little nervous that it would look like crap. I have another stocking by the same person, I think. Oh, hey, mine's fine. That one's a little bumpy too. Wow. Okay. That's the same knitter. Whoa, you guys have been chit-chatting while I couldn't see you. Much better. Good. Easy wool test. If you put a snip of yarn in a jar with some bleach and leave overnight, wool will be gone in the morning and nylon acrylic strands will remain. Or I could set it on fire, which is quicker. That was Fran. Thank you, Fran. Have I heard that? Did you tell me that one before? That sounds familiar. The burn test is that wool will just disappear. No, wool will put itself out. Wool will put itself out, which is why it's good for kids' clothes. And acrylic will melt and just make a little glob. Ooh, Bram is impressed. He says, I honestly didn't think you'd be able to get that much improvement. Very impressed. Generally, not you personally. Oh, generally. Yeah. Thank you, Fran. Hi, Jan. I bought it from Jessie, along with the pressing pad. The pressing pad, and I can pin into it too. So I just use it as the background for all my, the zoom. See, you can pin into it. So I really got it for blocking. Whoops. Oh boy. Hold on. There's a hot iron involved. Okay. Yeah. We fell off of the stand, but it's okay. And we knocked the iron off, but it's okay. Nobody got burned. Phew, in the process. So I've turned off the iron for now. And putting that away, that being the, not the iron, but the Christmas stocking. Okay, so, whoops, what's that? Oh, that's my pressing cloth that I don't need. And, phew, I was reading things. Yep, so I bought the iron and the pressing thingy, the mat from Jessie at Seams Mercantile. And it's not really called Seams Mercantile. Seams Fabric and Mercantile, maybe, in East Lansing. And current mayor of East Lansing, Jessie is. And, yeah. So that's done. Although I made my glasses dirty, I smudged them. Oh, that's going to tickle. So that's done. And so maybe next time I'll either be done and I can show you the stocking, or I won't be done, but I can sew that seam with you or finish the seam with you, or maybe it'll be done and gone, because that would be the best case scenario, really. I had another thing. Can I tell how much yarn water is in here? Maybe. No. There's a thing that says max, but well, we don't have max in there, that's for sure. Okay. Oh, I didn't. So the steam's just that little bit. That's good to know. I don't actually read the directions for anything. Lexi, I am going to need one of those pressing pads for sure. It's super amazing. Heads up, I'll be opening the shop tonight from 8 to midnight for the Welcome Week shopping event. I just saw that on Jessie's Facebook thingy about there's something from 8 to midnight tonight, and I'm not really sure why I don't know about it, except maybe it's for students. Like I'm sad that I don't know about it. Although I mean, I could go, but why would I? There's students there. Um, so I don't know about that. Also, Seams and Woven Art seem to be in cahoots about something, and I don't know that either. So we'll find out about that. Let's see. I told you about the thingy, the classes I took. So I'm thinking about, hi Sharon, how are you? Do you get that sweater done yet? um, Sharon came into the shop and bought yarn for a sweater for her mm, daughter-in-law. Daughter-in-law. Um, yeah, so I was going to show you something else. I don't really have a lot today, which means it'll probably go like 3 hours. So I've been talking to you a lot about this. Well, I don't know if I've been talking to you a lot. I've mentioned, I don't know anything. This, I'm getting more and more organized, but I'm not quite there. Trying not to knock the iron into myself again. So, I'm getting out of the knitting for hire business. And but I have some things to finish, and try not to say but, not because of but because of it's more negative than and. So and where the hell is it? And I forget what I was saying. And but I've got the stocking to finish, but we're almost done, and then that's out of my life, as are all the other stockings anyone would ever ask me to make, hopefully, unless it's a grandchild or related like that. And I have some repairs to do, which I have to stop saying yes to, but they're all, doable. And then there's this thing that I said yes to that I can't find. Oh, I know where it is. It's not in here. That's why I can't find it. That I said yes to. And it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying almost every stitch. Sometimes I realize that I did the wrong stitches, and then those aren't fun to redo. But it's this. So this is a for hire. No, I'm not making enough money, but she's paying me very generously, but it's not an hourly rate. And I shouldn't have said yes, but I wanted to make it. So it's a lot of knitting. Oops, I didn't maybe show you. So the chart, it's a wrap. It's a big rectangle. It's a combination of intarsia. It's knit this way, the narrow way. It's a combination of intarsia and fair isle. And it's Rowan felted tweed, which I don't know if I've really knit with Rowan felted tweed before. And the final measurement is going to be approximately 30 inches wide by 100.5 inches long. That's more than 3 yards, in case that helps. So I said yes. So the woman came into the shop and bought the stuff from the shop. I was her, person. And I don't know many months later, she came into the shop and she had started it. And she said, I'm never going to finish this, and I would like to wear it before I die. Can I hire someone to knit it for me? And I'm like, when you bought that, I really wanted to knit that. So I said yes, and we negotiated a price, and it's very generous, but it's not an hourly rate. Yeah, wow, to that pattern. And it's Kay Fassett, who's a designer from California he's been a Brit forever, but he's from California. He's very talented with color, and he has quilting fabric as well. I think he's done needlepoint as well, knitting as well, probably crochet. I've known about him since, I don't know, forever. And it's really pretty. And I'm loving working on it. But oh man, and I'm mid-row. Damn it. Well, let me go back this far. Oops. I don't have the book that it's in, so I have the handouts the printouts that she gave me, the copies. So here's one. That's the chart. Isn't that fun? I have a black and white chart with letters. See the letters? You can almost read some of them. The letters in the bottom, the first box, because it's boxes within boxes. So I have, and then, oh, she blew it up a little bit more. I'm not making fun because it's what you'd have to do is to make copies. Here's the whole set of directions. It refers to, no, it doesn't refer to anything. Oh, yes, it does. Breaking off and joining in colors as required using the intarsia and Fair Isle techniques as described on the information page. Well, I don't have the information page, and I know how to do intarsia and Fair Isle. And I think that's the only place where it refers you to someplace else. Yes. Oh, press as described on the information page. Well, see, I know how to press also. So I, knowing what I know, that's something else. Yep, so here it is again. And she wants it before she dies, which, you know, I hope she doesn't die anytime soon because I'm not done yet. And I've been working on it. This note is from October. Which year? Well, it's going to be 2020. It's certainly not going to be 2021. And she bought it quite a bit before that. So what I did, oh, and she did a really nice thing. Yeah, I took it on in October of 2020. She also has on the folder that I've been going through a snippet of the yarns with the name and then the letter that it was referred to, that it's referred to by on the chart that I showed you. So that's been really helpful. So there are 12 colors. There are, I've run out of one ball so far. But I mean, I've used up one ball of one color, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whoa, 8 of those colors. There's 2 balls, and one of the colors there's 3 balls because that's also on the border. And then 3 of the colors there's 1 ball, and I've only used up one ball of one color so far. I'll show it to you. I'm sad that I'm in the middle of a row. I'm going to shove one of these guys on there just to be safe. Have you seen these? They're called needle, hell, I don't know what they're called. Needle keepers. And it's a, you know, tube. And metal. It's metal. It's pretty. Has a rubber cap on the end with a slit. And you put and it's hollow. And you put the needles, the circular needles, into the slit until you hit the part that's on the cable where it's thinner, and then it just hangs there. So you can't accidentally pull your knitting off the needles. I mean, you could, but you'd have to try really hard. So here's where I am now. So here's the, you know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares across. And each of those squares is 5 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares across. Each of those squares is 5 stitches wide by 6 rows tall. Okay. I'm not, you know, it would be really easy to count the stitches. I'm not going to do that though. And then each of the squares is 5 rows across and 6 rows tall. So 5, there we go. 5 dark, light, dark, light, dark, and then 6 tall. Oh, 5 tall. 1, 2, 3. Oh God, I hope I've been doing 5 tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have. Okay. So they're little squares of 5 across by 6 tall that make bigger squares of 5 across by 5 tall. Then the whole thing is, what did I say? 7? 7 squares across by, it's 3.5 repeats of that chart. And the chart is 6 rows, 6 blocks tall. So 6 times 3.5 is 18 plus 3 is 21 blocks, not the little squares, but the blocks tall. Did I just say 21? 10.5 blocks tall. You know, we could figure out the numbers. Like I could start. Okay. Yeah, I almost want to. But here we go. So this is where I am. This is the beginning over here. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And whoop, this is the top of the first repeat. And we know that because right there is a pin. That was one repeat. So 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the pin. So 3.5 repeats. 1, 2, 3. I'm toward the top of 4. I am not even halfway done. I'm almost halfway done, but I'm not even halfway done. But isn't it pretty? I am actually enjoying this. And then there's the whole matter of it's Fair Isle, which is fabulous. It's Intarsia, which is fabulous. But there's 7 across, which is 14 balls of yarn, and I tried for like 5 minutes with the balls of yarn attached, and then I switched to if you remember Kay from way back, he would say 2 yard lengths, 2 yard lengths, 2 yard lengths. So I'm doing 2 yard lengths and a fuck ton of spit splicing. And it's an acrylic wool blend, 50-50, I believe. Sure, let's go with 50-50. Oh, there's the bag. Or actually, it's going to be in here. I forget. I sell a lot of this yarn. What's it made out of? Anybody? It doesn't say. Okay. Here's one. Oh, it's 50% wool, 25% alpaca, and 25% viscose. Viscose is an extruded fiber, I believe. Extruded probably from plant. So, anyway, this is what the back looks like. And so by spit splicing, I'm only getting 4 tails per block. We'll call the bigger ones blocks. A beginning of each color and an ending of each color. So, you know, only 4 per block. All right, let's do it. Let's figure it out. Here we go. And here's some paper. And here's a Sharpie. Use this color. Let's see. It's 7 blocks wide. I'm not going to write upside down. And each block is 5 blocks of 5 square stitches each. So that's 5 times 5 is 25 per block. And there's 7 blocks. Hello, where's my on? Right there. 5 times 5 is 25, duh. Times 7 blocks is 175 stitches, which I probably knew because it's probably cast on 175 stitches. Let's just double check. Cast on 175 stitches. Okay, so it's 175 stitches wide. And then each square, I'm going to do it the other direction. Each little square is 6 rows tall, and there are 5 per block. And I didn't have to do that, by the way, the parentheses. And there are, what did I just say? 6 rows tall, 5 rows tall per block, 6 blocks tall per repeat, right? 6 rows tall for the little blocks. There's 5 of the little blocks, and then there's in a big block, and then there's 6 big blocks. So that's 30 times 6. That's 180 rows tall. That's per repeat. 180 times 3.5 for the 3.5 repeats. Oh boy. Why am I doing this? 180. Can you see that? probably not. 180 times, here, can you see this one better? I could try to do it upside down, but I'd probably use the wrong numbers. 180 times 3.5 is 630 rows. That does not sound like enough rows. Okay, and then that means that it's 630 times 175 is 110,250 stitches. I think yep. And then total. That doesn't sound like enough. And then rows total. Rows per repeat. Okay, repeats. Fill in all the blanks. And then I'm not halfway done with that. Let's just say that. Let's just put all this away. So that needs to be removed from my life. This right here, I would like that to be done. But when? Before I die, just like the woman who wants it. Okay. So once I get the Christmas stocking done, this will be the thing that I'm being held accountable for. It's really pretty. Oh, so what I wanted to do, just for a quickie, was to fire up. I'm going to put a little bit more water in the iron. Does it have a lot in there? Oh, it's got plenty. I could not find, I did read the directions. I lied to you, sorry. But I could not find, maybe I didn't read them like from cover to cover. Well, mostly because there were other languages in there, but okay, we'll let that get hot again. I couldn't find how long they think that the steam will last when you fill it with the itty tiny little cup, which has water in it in case I need more water. I'm just going to steam a little bit of this because I've been curious how flat it will be. Because the edges, if you've ever done intarsia or Fair Isle or a combination, and you have an edge that's a solid color, I went ahead and did the other colors, both of the colors all the way to the edge. So I carried, and if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, that's fine. And maybe you do, and then those people will go, oh my God, you did what? So I carried that color, all the colors to the end and just, did the edge stitch with both colors to hold it in place so that it's the same thickness all the way across. And so there's something, which is causing the edge to be weird, but there is a, crocheted edge on there. I'm not sure who's doing the crocheted edge. Oops. Looks like it's got some of the dark blue and then some, I don't know, green, some other color. It probably says. Let's look. J. That's the dark blue, the darkest blue, Seafarer. And then we switch to H, which is lotus leaf. So that's like a beautiful yellowy forest green, or not yellowy, but foresty yellowish green. So the darkest one is that blue, and then this green. That's the border. There. Where's my finger? There, the border there. You can see the green there. Okay. Yikes. So, are we hot? Oh, we're hot. Are we hot? Oh, it could be hotter. Yep, we're there. All right, let's try that again. So I'm going to just do it. I just was curious since I had the iron out. I would do a little bit of steaming of this and see how it goes, how it looks. Because, it's beautiful now, right? But it's kind of corrugated. And I'm hoping that so I'm hoping that the corrugated goes away. Let's do, I want to be more careful on the edges. So let's do, see this green one? You can see that corrugated texture, right? And that's because I'm trying very carefully not to pull too tightly, but you're pulling the strands behind 5 stitches. every row for, I have to remember there's only steam coming from the top part, but for all in the same configuration. So there's no, what happened there? I don't know. Let's tear it all out and fix it. Ha ha ha. There's no, I don't know, but there's no, there's no something. Ooh, yeah. It's better. Let's do a little bit more. All right, this is going to make me really happy. I'll have to pay some special attention to the edges because they're curly and, you know, they're curly because it's stockinette stitch, but also because of the fact that I'm, you know what though, I'll get a bigger iron fired up for the whole thing. I think that would be wise. Yep, tiny little bit left, but of the corrugated, but wow, is that a lot better or what? Maybe I just didn't even do that part. And then, you know, I'll have 1,000 ends to weave in. It's my life. The directions say, don't look directly into the steam. They don't say that, but something like that. Yeah. See how nice that square looks now? And you can see the ribs, the corrugation in all the other blocks. But whoops, you can't see it because I didn't put it there. It's this one. That is lovely. Steaming is wonderful. Okay, we're going to turn off the iron. Press that, turn that. Let's try not to drop it on the floor again. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so you can look at my beautiful face and I hopefully won't drop the laptop again. So I'm almost halfway done with that. I did a lot of it during the, yep, the steaming finished it off nicely. It steamed beautifully, Jill. Oh, the iron? Yes. Hi, Jill. The iron is a little tiny steam iron. Is that what you're talking about? It's called Steam Fast. And here you go. It's so you realize this was hot, right? It's got a little reservoir and holds this much water. It said it to fill it up, and then I did, and when I poured it in, it doesn't hold that much water. So almost that much water. And then it has a dial for 1, 2, or 3 for heat. So, or off, actually. Off is 1, or maybe it's just low then. Maybe it doesn't. No, there's off, and then there's 1, 2, and 3. So just like a regular steam iron. I did 2 for wool. And then it has a little, where's off again? Sorry. Nope, that's max. Let's turn it off. Off. And then it has, trying not to burn myself. This is the little reservoir. Right there. Boop. And the water, you lay it flat and fill it. The water went in very nicely until it wouldn't hold anymore. And then it burbled. And, oh, and then there's this button that it's locked in place down right now. See how it's flush? That means no steam. Or you let it up. See how it's not flush? And that means steam. So continuous steam until you go like this and then it stops steaming. And I did notice today as I use it for the first time that it only has the steam vents on the top or the front of the faceplate. So locked in, off, and then these guys just say max. Like you can see the water. I don't know. I couldn't really see the water in there. But they say max, like, I don't know. That wasn't helpful. And there's a little light. It's blue, but it turned yellow when it was getting up to heat. I wonder if it was blue when it was hot. I didn't notice. And it's got a long enough cord that it's plugged into the wall behind me. And then with my mat that I got, it's beautiful. And so I bought it for travel. But it works great for Zoom because it fits under the camera. Yep, and I usually just I usually have this mat over there because that's where my phone camera is, where I can film my hands. So everything's usually over there. I don't know, but there must be a little bit of, if you rest your hands or your arms on this pressing mat a lot, it's a little prickly. So, not prickly, but I want to say the word fiberglass, but I'm sure it's not made of fiberglass. But there's something about it that's a little prickly. But it's a great surface. And, you know, you can steam on it and you can What else did I do? Pin to it, and it made a great mouse. It makes a great mouse pad too, by the way, in case you were curious. Mouse like computer mouse, not a mouse. Which reminds me, there's something living in my wall downstairs, and I don't know how to get it out without putting a hole in the wall. I'm not going to do that. So I think what happens is it's going to die in there, and then I probably have lots of dead animals in there. It's in a little section. Like I'm sure it can't get back up out of the wall, the indoor wall. And this happened before where little baby red squirrels slid down the cathedral roof or whatever the hell it's called, the vaulted roof, and fell into a little piece of wall that's narrower than what you see there, which is actually, anyway. And we had a guy come and he ended up cutting a hole in the wall. He said, wait till they die. And then he came back and cut a hole in the wall and took out the little dead baby squirrels. And, I think that happens a lot more than I notice. But right now, when I'm sitting in my dining room, there's a little squeak, squeak coming from the wall. And I tried taking off the vent cover, but that's just for the vent. I can't, it's not in the vent, it's in the wall. But I have a witness, so I'm not crazy. The walls are talking to me. So let's see. I wanted to show you the iron, and I did, and it worked great. I'm excited. That worked great. So, and we steamed the stocking, so that's done. But now I have to sew I don't know, maybe I'll do it tonight. I want to put my feet back up, but I'm really supposed to be editing because something was due this weekend. One of my editing things was due this weekend, but I didn't know that I was going to work 3 extra shifts, well, 2 extra besides the extra shift last week, and I didn't remember that I was taking 17 hours worth of classes, maybe 16. Does it matter? So I didn't get the editing done. I wrote the person and said I kind of have life happening here, and it'll be done Tuesday night. So I could do it tomorrow too, but I have a mammogram tomorrow, and I have a meeting tomorrow, and I have another meeting tomorrow. Yeah, maybe I'll at least draw the schematic tonight. But maybe I'll sew the seam as a reward for drawing the schematic. Now I want to get that stocking done. I still have to do something for the hanging loop too. So not done yet. But now you know about the Intarsia, Fair Isle Intarsia wrap. I call it the wrap. And it's beautiful, and I'm enjoying working on it, but did I mention that it's like 1,000 degrees here? And that's a lot of wool and alpaca. So like I have a fan blowing on me. I worked on it during the classes when I wasn't taking notes or just staring with great attention at the screen, which I always was, but and I made mistakes while I was doing that. So I had to fix the mistakes then in the wrap. I don't want to tear anything back in the wrap. And let's see what else. I had made notes about what I wanted to talk to you about, and I think I did everything. Oh, one other thing. What time is it? Oh, that's pretty good. It's my usual amount of time. Yeah. So I can I did a little bit on I think last time I talked to you, oh, that doesn't get there. I had done a little bit on my Afghan. That makes me happy, but then I had to tear some out. So I think I was just down here last week, and now I'm up here. So that's kind of a sad bit of, no, the wrap isn't for me, Diane. You'll have to watch the beginning. So yeah, I've only done about that much since I saw you last week, but I did a lot on the wrap, so I feel good about that. I want to get past the halfway point, so that I can say I am more than halfway done. That's what my goal is. So maybe I'll be more than halfway done by next Monday. And the only other thing I want to talk to you about is another public service announcement. If you're not already vaccinated, would you please get vaccinated? And when the booster becomes available, would you please get the booster? And stay safe, wear your mask. A very good friend, and well, so, it's bad. And a very good friend and her husband she's waiting for her results. He got his back. He has COVID because he went golfing with his friend, and they haven't seen anybody, but he went golfing with his friend. They didn't go indoors. They kept their distance, but they shared a golf cart. And they're all vaccinated, but the guy follows up with, oh, turns out I have COVID. So now my friend's husband gets tested. He has COVID. She's tested. She assumes she has COVID. So would you please think about, if you're not already vaccinated, think about helping everybody out and keeping everybody safe. And if you are vaccinated, regardless, wear a mask. The grocery store I go to took down their plexiglass between the last time I was there and this time I was there, which was Saturday. And I was like, no, it's too soon. So now I'm seriously considering going back to curbside. Fran says she wishes I was just starting that rep. It would have been a great knit along. So that's an older wrap. That's called the checkerboard. I don't remember. Oh, it's right here. Hi. Didn't I just have this out? The checkerboard. And it's on Ravelry. It's older. I don't know how old because I don't. Oh, look. Oh, that's not that old. I make shit up all the time. It's 2018. It's pre-COVID. But also pre-COVID, there was another wrap that came out. Oh, I can't. I don't know if I can share screen. Maybe I can do it on my iPad. There was another wrap that came out just before COVID, or shortly somewhere, and Meg at Woven Art had let me talk to you about Snarkometer too. Thank you for asking. What am I doing? Ravelry. So Rowan came out with another Cave Facet designed giant Rowan felted tweed wrap using at least one new color. They have, is it new? There was a black finally, although it wasn't really black because it's felted tweed. It was, blackish with tweed. What do you mean sign in? Of course I'm signed in. Oh man, this is not going to be as easy as I'd hoped. Okay. Oh, and I forgot my password. Now let's try Touch ID. There we go. Now do patterns. Isn't this fun? Someday I'll figure out, I don't think I can share. I think I can share screen. I looked it up and I think I can, but I haven't looked it up any more than finding out that maybe I can. Okay, so let's look at Cave Facet. Assuming I can spell his name. I did. So, mystery knit along. He had a mystery knit along, but that's not it. And please hold. This one. Ha! Okay, it's called the Oversized Zigzag Wrap. And Meg Woven Art was going to host a knit along with that. So some people already bought their yarn, but the black hadn't come in. We were waiting on the black. And then COVID hit. And we finally got the black like halfway, like in, I don't know, October of last year. And we still have a little bit left. So I know at least one person who has all the yarn now. Let me find it here. There's only 2 pictures. Old-fashioned way. Turn sideways. That's it. So it's a little bit of intarsia. I think it goes... I can't do that with an iPad. I think it's knit the long way. I mean, sorry, not the long way. I think it's knit from the narrow end up. Oh, let's see how I can do this. Can you see that okay? I know the ring light's in the way. So I think it's called Oversized Zigzag Wrap. And they say... Whoa, holy crap. A through Q for the colors. A is black and it wants 2 skeins of black. And then scarlet. Okay, yeah, they make up names. You don't know. Scarlet, Ciel, C-I-E-L. It's a really pretty blue. Lime, French mustard. Iris is a purple. Ultramarine sounds like a blue. Peach. Frozen is, I think, a blue. Watery is a blue. There's lots of blues. Heliotrope is a purple, I think. Scree is a grayish blue. Sulfur is a yellowy green. Electric green. Avocado. Zinnia is orange. And Pink Bliss is pink. I don't know how many that is. 20 some colors. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's like 20 some. So Fran, we were going to have a knit along for that one, and it kind of fell by the wayside because we couldn't get the yarn, so she couldn't start it, and then the pandemic hit, so we could still do a knit along online, right? Yes, um, because I'm going to be working on that till I die. I want to get it done. That's the last big for hire knitting for hire. I have repairs now, but I don't have knitting for hire. This is it, and I want it out of my life. So, mate, the theme, Fran, for September for the Woven Art knit along is, or Zoom along, is knit alongs. So I could work on that, but nice segue into Diane's question of have I worked on my snarkometer? The snarkometer is a Casapinka knit along, mystery knit along, which I signed up for spur of the moment a little less than 2 weeks ago. And I went in, because I didn't have anything else to do. And I showed it to you last week, right? I'm not going to drag it. It's right there. Yeah, I showed you. I'll show you. It's right here. I can reach it. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? It's all. So I got my official Sharon from Security bag and my official Sharon from Security badge that's sparkly. And I'm exactly where I was last week. I was almost done with clue number 1, and clue number 2 had come out as of last Monday. I forget what day of the week it comes out. And so I'm just going to go back, Fran, and say this would not make a great knit along. It's too complicated. It's like hard, but I'm in a rhythm because it's very consistent, right? But I'm doing a lot of split, easy for me to say, spit splicing, and you have to pay attention, and it's not, I don't think this would be a good knit along one. The other one would probably be a great knit along one. I think we don't want to combine Fair Isle and Intarsia as very often, or at all. But I thought, oh, that would be so much fun, and I am enjoying it because it's so damn pretty. But but I'd be happy to keep working on it if you want to do one of the other K-facet Rowan felted tweed knit-alongs, or sorry, shawls. We could definitely talk about that because I need incentive to keep working on this. I got a lot done this weekend with all the classes I was zooming into, and I need more motivation to keep going because it's slow going. Yeah, so, all right. I don't even remember what my color. Oh, now I remember what my colors are. So this is what I have so far on the clue 1 of the Casapinka. Oh, I'm a little farther than I thought. It's so pretty. Isn't it pretty? Yeah, so this is toward the end of clue number 1, and then clue number 2 includes the 4th color, which is a silvery gray with some blue blips in it. And I hadn't started clue 2 yet. I got another one of these guys, and it's pink because it's Casapinka. Because we don't want to lose the stitches, right? Right. These are, of the kinds of things that do this, these are the best ones I've found. Needle keepers. And I think I have a pink pen in here. I do. Just want to make sure I didn't click it accidentally. Wouldn't want to draw all over the inside of my Sharon from Security bag. Nope. Okay. So, and I want to work on that. And I want to finish the Christmas stocking. And I want to work on my crocheted Afghan. And I want to work on the wrap. So clue 2 came out last week and I printed it off and I haven't done anything with it yet, although I still, every time I look at the first page, I like there's a typo right there. And it doesn't have as many pages as clue 1. And then I guess clue 3 came out when I wasn't looking because did I mention I took 13 classes this weekend? So I'm thinking clue 3 must have come out when I wasn't looking, but I did see some follow-up emails saying, oops, she shouldn't have used that word, and so she's renaming a stitch and had reissued the corrected clue, which I assume was 3, and there was a video that accompanied it, and so she redid the video. So the word was shyster. It's okay, so earlier in the past year, within the past year, all my life, let's just go back a little further. Um, and I think I got it from my mom. Um, Middle class, white, Episcopalian slash Presbyterian family. I think she used the word putz, just putzing around in the kitchen, because I don't know where else I would have gotten that. And so I've just used it still. And a year ago, within the past year, I got called out on it by a friend who's Jewish saying, that's like a bad word, right? And I was like, no, I don't know that it's a bad word. I have no ill intentions. And I kept using it. And I don't do so much, Diane. I start all the projects and then I don't do them. I want to do so much. Good question. Um, yeah. Like today I would like to have been sitting and just doing nothing to recover or doing a project to recover from the busy weekend I had, but I didn't even do that. So after continuing to use putz, but then like putzing around and then realizing that, every time I said it from then on though, I was like, apparently this is a bad word. I don't understand, I mean, my dad's nickname was Dick. Okay. So there you go. I can't stop saying, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just keep using the word that has bad connotations other places. So, I finally thought, why am I feeling like I should still be using it? Why do I feel like it's okay? So I sent the friend who had called me out on it an email and I said, you know what? It was months later. It was 6 months later or something. And I said, you know what? I'm really sorry. I'm not going to use that word anymore. I should have said this, I should have stopped using it immediately. And I don't know why I didn't. And I'm sorry. And she very graciously accepted. So this is that same thing. I think Casapinka used the word shyster and didn't realize that it had a bad connotation. I wouldn't have known it had you can guess that it has a bad connotation, right? But anyway, she pulled it immediately, which was the right thing to do. And she reissued the clue and she redid a video. And now I'm like, wait, there was a video, which is why I think it had to be clue 3 because there wasn't, I didn't do clue 2 yet, but anyway, so um, in this day and age of cancel culture, which is a new term I learned, you can say one wrong word and then you lose your whole business, your whole life's work is nothing. It's just I'm going to use the word reactionary. I don't even know if that's the right word. It's such a reactionary culture these days. So you really just have to be careful. So this has nothing to do with the fact that I didn't work on Casapinka's on the snarkometer. I want to do all these things. I also have been, yeah, I don't know. Anybody have any comments on that? I don't mean to get like super heavy, but I stopped saying putz and I'm saying putter. And when I filmed a class with Craftsy and they used the word futz and F-U-T-Z and I thought it was hilarious. So why can't I just use futz? As far as I know, that's okay. And maybe that word came about as a replacement for saying putz, right? Yeah, putz and shyster, right? But we didn't know that they were, Sharon says her parents used both of those words. We didn't know they were good words. I knew that my dad's nickname meant something else, and it's always been uncomfortable for me to say, that his name is Dick, but it is. It was for a long time. He was born in the 1920s. His name was Richard. What else was he going to be called? Whoops, I made you go away. You're not on Zoom. Where'd you go? There you are. Phew, couldn't find you again. I clicked on something. Yeah, I didn't know either, Diane. So now we know. So we can try to be better. And it was weird. I fought it like I've always used it. Why do I have to stop using it? Well, because it offended somebody who I knew, and that's reason enough right there. So just, thought I'd teach you a little something. But yeah, so that's the Casapinka thing. I was thinking about talking about that. So that was actually a good segue, asking me if I'd worked on it or not. Thank you. Yeah, my dad went by Dick also. My mom called my dad Richard. Richard, quit snoring. But he introduced himself to everybody as Dick. And actually, I think his family called him Richard, but his professional family and all the neighbors and maybe my mom's family called him Richard also, but everybody else called him Dick. My mom's name was Rowena, and she went by Scotty. It's like, can't what's going on? Why can't anybody have their own words, their own names? Um, like I'm Sarah. My dad and brother's name is Richard. Yeah. I mean, it could have been anything. It's just words change, right? See, okay, Bram says, I've always known that they were Yiddish, and I knew that what they meant. I didn't know that it was offensive to use them any more than their actual meaning. So I knew they were, I'm going to go with Jewish of some kind, and I didn't know that they were offensive. I didn't know what they meant. I just, putzing around in the kitchen is puttering, right? That's not the way that I was not using it in the way in which it was intended or something. That's not the right sentence. But anyway, always learning, always stuff to learn. And I think being open about it is better than being not open about it or super reactionary, which I don't know what reactionary means, but I mean like getting in a tizzy. I don't know what tizzy means. I think being open about it, having dialogue and saying, okay, I get it. I shouldn't be using that word anymore. So that's what Casapinka did with shyster. Yep. Okay. Well, that was more than I meant to talk about. So we did the Christmas stocking, made great strides. Thank you for helping me. I'm really glad I didn't like burn through some acrylic or set it on fire or that the red didn't bleed. That's what I was afraid of. And I thought, why not do it online on streaming live? Why not? And then I introduced you to the wrap and we steamed a little bit of that. And oh, that's going to be pretty. That makes me feel good. I don't know where I'm going to lay that out to block it. It's going to happen in increments, I think. And I have to figure out who's crocheting the edging. I kind of want to. And I showed you my tiny bit of progress on my crocheted blanket. Oh, good, Diane. I mean, it's always good to learn something new, right? I want to tell you, okay, I'm going to tell you another thing. I'm done, but I'm going to tell you this thing because it happened this weekend. And Bram, you were there. It was Gigi's first class. It was Gigi's second class. It was one of Gigi's classes. Ah, and she started. So there's a woman named Gay Glaspie, and she taught Well, I took two classes from her this weekend. They might be the only two she taught, and one was on social media and one was on branding. And she goes by her business is called her fiber related business is called GG Made It, GG for Gay Glaspie. Thank you, Marilyn. And she's a black woman. Her favorite color is orange. Uh she's recognizable and she goes with it, and that's part of her brand, and that was part of the point of the discussion. That was part of the point of the class, was talking about how to find your brand and basically be yourself. There you go. But she started by, somebody said, tell the story of the orange. And so here's what I learned, and it's been bothering me. uh Here's my white privilege, right? So she was taught as a young girl, a young black girl, not to wear bright colors because they had brown skin and people thought that was not attractive. So they shouldn't wear bright colors to draw attention to themselves. Bram, you can correct me if I heard it wrong. And so she didn't wear bright colors, even though her favorite color was orange her whole life. So when she was a working professional, a slightly older black woman would compliment her on her appearance. And one day when she, giving her words of encouragement and being really uplifting. And one day she had on a black dress and a yellow cardigan. And the woman said, like, how are you today? And Gigi said to her, what, you're not going to tell me how beautiful I am today? And the woman said, well, honey, you're wearing a yellow cardigan. You know we're not supposed to wear bright colors. And I'm laughing while I say that. I don't mean to be laughing. It's nervous laughter. So that's a thing, apparently, I don't know about. There's a lot that I don't know about. But I was like, oh, my God. And, you learn something like that. I mean, I learned something like that. And I I'm thinking about that a lot right now. So we learned some things today. I am done. So next week I should be here. I should usually be here. I apologize if there was that one time I wasn't here and Fran looked for me and I wasn't here. So sorry, Fran. Um, yeah, I should be here. And so we'll see if I made progress on any of the things. I've also, well, I'm done talking. It's after 6. I've made progress on going through all my projects, and I only have a few more to go through. So maybe at some point I will do another a recap from my original list of 9,000 projects and see how many I have left. It's not 9,000. It's a much smaller number now. And maybe I'll actually finish something. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Or, maybe I'll start something. That's more likely. All right, you guys. Uh, Stuff to think about, right? I'm going to go. I'll talk to you later.